Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you seriously serious? This is a horrible explosion. It's a terrible, massive fire explosion, plane crash. Louisville, Kentucky, which is where Heidi and I called home for about 8 years. And I know exactly where the UPS hub is. A terrible, terrible, terrible situation. But a lot of questions already being asked, and I'm going to ask them. But anyway, let's take a look at real fast, www.healthwithpaul.com. That's www.healthwithpaul.com. And I got phones going off. Hang on. Yes, I've already done that. I've already taken the morning meds. Thank you. Anyway, hope you have as well. In the recent clinical trial, www.healthwithpaul.com, in a recent clinical trial this year, women who took 2.5 grams of collagen peptides daily for 8 weeks saw an average of a 25% reduction in eye wrinkle depth, a 9% improvement in skin elasticity, and a 29% book in skin hydration, proving collagen can and does visibly strengthen and rejuvenate skin from within. This is why today I'm telling you, it's why I've been a sponsor for over 8 years of BioTrust's multi-collagen, ageless multi-collagen. It really is. Look, I'm obsessed with the results it's giving my skin. BioTrust is ageless, it's tasteless, it's odorless. You'll become ageless. It's incredible. It will supercharge your skin. It uses 5 premium types of collagen needed to help reduce the wrinkles. I've noticed smoother skin, more elasticity, more hydration, fewer fine lines, that youthful glow, all of it, joint health, bone strength, connective tissue. It's just unbelievable. You will see the advantages, and you save 51%. If you click on the link below the video, if you go to www.healthwithpaul.com, that's www.healthwithpaul.com, save now. And that's not all. They will give you free a VIP live health and fitness coaching for life. Also, free ebook titled The 14 Foods of Amazing Skin, and a 60-day satisfaction guarantee. Check it out right now at healthwithpaul.com. We are getting news now. We know that 9 people are dead. 16 are missing. 16 families are saying they have missing loved ones. This plane, and this is an actual shot as the plane explodes. This plane was taking off, folks. It was taking off when an engine exploded and came off the plane. The plane, then the pilot, of course, there was 3 crew members on board. The pilot was trying every way in the world to figure out, what do you do now? I know, I don't, what do I do now? You're already, barreling at probably about 250, 300 miles an hour. You have an exploding engine, and you got to get this thing down. But then as you're trying to come down, it looks like the plane just explodes. And when it explodes, it creates an acceleration, and the plane, the fuselage, the fuel, it's all now like it's unbelievable, for a quarter of a mile, dropping flaming diesel fuel upon buildings, businesses, homes, and what have you. Absolute insane. This is the initial explosion behind me. But then what's really bad is, and let me see if I can show this to you here. As the nightfall came, it was a stream of blazing. You had 30,000 gallons of diesel fuel in this plane. This plane was a UPS plane, was leaving Louisville, Kentucky, full of cargo headed to Hawaii. So it's just taking off. It is this is the most fuel you'll ever put on a plane. You're flying from Louisville, Kentucky to Hawaii. You got 30,000 gallons of diesel fuel. Jet fuel. And all of a sudden, you explode as you're accelerating to about 300 miles an hour. There's just nothing you can do at this point. The sad news is I just saw the mayor of Louisville, Kentucky, just confirmed they found the 8th and 9th bodies that are dead. There is, first they said there was 11 people missing. Now they're saying there is 16 families reporting missing loved ones. Plus, we know we have 11 people injured. And the governor of Kentucky says the death toll is going to rise. He didn't say it might. He said it's going to rise. Now, the UPS cargo plane, it crashed shortly after taking off from Louisville, Kentucky last night. And, I was going to jump on air and do a video live just as it happened because I was contacted within 15 minutes. And then I changed my mind because I knew it was way too early. I knew there was going to be more than 3 people dead, more than just the crew. And I just wanted to wait and get some better footage and get some understanding and get a little bit of clarity and discuss this morning. Mike around the world told us that planes are going to fall out of the sky. This is different. We have had planes falling out of the sky. We will have planes continue to fall out of the sky, but this is different. This was a takeoff. And, when you've got a UPS plane that is getting ready to leave Louisville, Kentucky, filled with cargo, and is going all the way to Hawaii, that plane goes through a rigorous maintenance inspection process of every little thing before you put that thing in the air. These over water trips, these overseas trips, all these planes go through significant inspection, maintenance checkpoints. How in the world does a engine explode and fall off the plane before you can barely get past the end of the runway? Is just mind-boggling to me. It just really is. Now, the NTSB is leading the probe into the crash. The FAA, the Federal, Air Aviation Association, the FAA, said they got 28 people now are scheduled to arrive in Kentucky this morning to begin the entire process. They have engine parts. They have a full engine sitting in the interstate in the medium. They have pieces of the aircraft scattered for a quarter of a mile. They have cargo scattered, and they don't even know how far. The Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport just reopened this morning for commercial aircraft to start leaving. But we have 9 confirmed dead in the UPS plane crash, 11 people injured, and 16 people missing. Actually, 16 different families are reporting that they have loved ones missing, and it looks like they are, and there's a lot of reason for that. They were working, they were in businesses, they were in warehouses, all of which was wiped out and affected. So we don't know. The death toll is expected to rise. There's no doubt about it, according to the governor. There are 2 burn patients that are in absolute horrible critical condition, and 8 other injured people in the hospitals, and 1 other person was injured. So, but 2 are in burn units that are in very critical condition. The other 8 are in very various injuries and are expected to survive. The 2 in the burn unit, that is still up for grabs, and we just don't know. The first thing, the engine just clearly came off the plane. You see that it explodes. Now, the really weird feeling I have from this, first of all, I'm just saying, you can't help but ask the question, sabotage. I don't know. I'm not going to say it is. Nobody can say it is because obviously nobody knows at this point. But it's, a plane of this magnitude going to Hawaii, going through rigorous maintenance testing. You got to ask that question at some point. And I'm going to go ahead and ask it now because I just don't. It's just, can a plane catch on fire? Can an engine catch on fire? Yeah, I was on a plane when it happened. Heidi and I were leaving Indianapolis, Indiana. We were flying back to Orlando, and when the left engine, just like this plane, the left engine caught fire and was blazing. And the pilot made an emergency landing in Atlanta. And they were able to put the fire out in the plane, and we all got off, and everybody was fine. It's not the first time an engine has caught fire. It's a very eerie feeling to be in a plane. You can smell the smoke. You look out the window. The engine's on fire. And, everybody's praying. It's a very, very, very eerie feeling. But these folks didn't have that kind of feeling. This thing exploded. Now, it didn't just catch fire. It literally exploded and then blew up the entire plane, and the plane crashes and and you got all this fuel, jet fuel and all this. It's just a horrible, horrible situation in Louisville. Our prayers are going out to the families of the victims who have died, and also to the families of the injured. We're praying for those that are injured, especially those, all of them, and those 2 in the burn unit that are in critical condition. Also, we're praying for the families of the missing 16. We're praying for the businesses and the homes and the trauma that affected people all along the path of this thing. We're praying for the 20,000 employees that work for UPS in Louisville, because that is their major hub that sends out cargo all over the nation, all over the world for that matter. And 20,000 people work at UPS in Louisville, Kentucky. This is shocking and heart-wrenching to everyone. And so our prayers are certainly going out. We're going to be doing, and Mike Friend of the World talked about planes falling out of the sky. And again, I don't think this is one of those situations, because he was more talking about planes already in flight, already high in the air, that were being affected by what's called atmospheric compression, and the debris that is slowly inundating our Earth as the incoming asteroids and meteorites. This cloud will get stronger. Not only will there be asteroids, and we're seeing tons of them, and comets, but this settling dust from space that is part of this overall massive cloud that is going to create an ash environment. It's going to create a heavy environment. It's going to cause planes to fall out of the sky. It's going to cause significant changes in the climate. It's not from man-made. It's not tailpipes and cow farts. That's not what's causing this. We're literally in the end times. Jesus knew this was coming, and that's why he said there would be great signs and fearful sights in the heavens. Jesus knew this, but he also knew there'd be, deep impacts in the book of Revelation. We're told about the 2 deep impacts that caused the wormwood effect, the Chernobyl effect, and all the different things that are coming upon the earth, and the effect of all of this on the sun, and the solar eruptions, and the massive release of CMEs, coronal mass ejections, and the solar super flares, and the high, and which creates massive changes in temperatures on Earth, fluctuations, breaking through the ozone barrier, causing hypercanes like what we just saw rip through Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, and the Caribbeans. All of this is happening, but I'm looking at this. When I look at this plane crash, I see, my first thought is sabotage. It's almost as if somebody stuck a bomb in that thing and blew that engine and blew that entire plane. Or something, something happened. I mean, it would be catastrophic to think that maintenance failed miserably on this situation. I have a hard time believing that. It's more concerns, and you have to understand, we've been getting intelligence from government insiders that there's this very thing has been a very much a concern. Not only what we saw in Louisville, but there's been a lot of chatter about Houston, Texas, a lot of concern about Denver, Colorado, and other parts and other airports and other situations. So I'm telling you, I'm asking, is this sabotage? I don't know. And it'll probably be, I'm sure the FBI is in on this. I'm sure the ATF is in this. Department of Homeland Security. I'm telling you, this is not just going to be handled by the FAA. This doesn't look right. Thank God. You're right. Pamela Swan is so right. Thank God it wasn't a passenger jet. You think about it, the plane that crashed, into the helicopter in Washington, D.C. last year, not long after the election. I think it was either late November or early December. President Trump hadn't even been sworn in yet. We know that was 67 people on board. I mean, people were killed on the ground. That was a horrible situation. Now, some people would say, Paul, maybe this has to do with the shutdown. That maybe there was understaff. Maybe there wasn't enough maintenance workers. The problem I'm having here is this is a private company. Well, they're actually a public company, but we're dealing with UPS and their planes and their maintenance schedules. So we need to take a look at everything. But still, other people have access to these planes at the airport, including the TSA and others. So there's a lot here to unpack. It's a very sad, very serious situation. And so our prayers are going out. I'm sure that Melvin will be talking about that tonight on the Getting Ready show. But not just that, but a ton of stuff that's happening around the world. It's getting very, very strange things that are happening. And the typhoons, it's been smashing into the Philippines, the hurricanes, the storms, the wars, the rumors of wars. We're nowhere with this Russia-Ukraine thing. We are absolutely there's no change. There's no advance. It's only ratcheting up worse. Bigger and worse weapons are being introduced into the theater from both sides, from NATO's side and from Russia's side. We're nowhere close to this war ending. Putin is focused on taking the entire country and beyond. He told us that in his 12-page manifesto. He has not wavered from that. Trump has tried every way in the world to intervene and to bring some kind of a peace, ceasefire, and work through a peace arrangement. Putin has he has not changed his focus at all. And Ukraine is still, and NATO is now ratcheting up. So this thing is getting uglier. And then with Gaza, Hamas still has their weapons. Hamas is still an organization. Hamas still has 8 hostage dead bodies. Hamas is still there. And even though the whole world is signed an agreement to end it, Hamas still has their guns until somebody physically pries that out of their hands, till somebody does it. And Trump's asking the Arab nations Do you guys all want to get together and put together a international security force? It's called an ISF, an international security force. How about it, guys? And they're all looking at one another. And nobody wants to step in and shut down this radical Islamic regime who are, it's just nobody wants to do it. Either do they not have the courage to do it, or they just don't want to be seen as the nations that helped Israel secure their country. We're having a real come to Jesus moment, folks. And my book, Revelation 9:11, which is available at Amazon.com, the hardback copy, you can get it right now at Amazon. You can get it on audio, the audio book of Revelation 9:11. I read the book myself. You can get that and listen to it. You can get that right now. You can be listening to that book right there in 10 minutes if you went to Amazon or to Audibles and ordered the book. They would download it straight to you, and all of a sudden you'd be listening to it. It's a 7-hour, 9-minute, takes me to read the book to you with the emphasis on the areas that are very key. Especially, I read the book 1 year after it came out for the audio. So it's, I really I feel you can really feel the emphasis now because things have happened that I wrote were going to come to pass. And more things that are still yet to happen, and other things that are definitely in process. So get that book, Revelation 9:11. Get a hardback copy of it, or go get the audio. Or if you want an autographed copy of it, go to my website and order it right now at paulbegleyprophecy.com, and I will autograph it with a private note to you and send it to you today. So you can get that done right now if you'd like to do that. But I also want to tell you that Trump versus the Beast, our brand new book that's coming out in the spring, Trump versus the Beast. Folks, I'm telling you, this beast is crawling everywhere. And it has destruction. It's come to kill, steal, and destroy. And yes, threats on the homeland are real. And they're all over this country and the world. This is a new world order. This is a beast kingdom that the Bible talks about in Daniel. It's a fourth kingdom. It's ferocious, and it's on its way. And so you can pre-order the book at Amazon.com. It is being published by Newsmax and will be available everywhere soon. You can pre-order it right now at Amazon.com. I'll be right back. Pray for the families and for the city of Louisville, Kentucky.
God, I'm so scared for this crooked generation. You even find faith in the earth when you bring down revelation. Forgive us now the sins of our youth, worshiping the idols that knew everything but the truth. Teach us how to uncorrupt our minds. Show us now while we still have the time. We need you, Yeshua. Holy, holy, hallelujah. We need you, Yeshua. Holy, holy, hallelujah. We abandon everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold silver in the streets.
How much will we see before the fire falls? Lord, could this really be the last altar call? We need your blood over the doorpost of our hearts. Anoint us with your fiery love as the praise and worship starts. We need you, Yeshua.
Holy, holy, hallelujah. We need you, Yeshua. Holy, holy, hallelujah. We abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the streets. Oh, we abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the streets. We abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the streets. We abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the streets.
Just some incredible situations developing, and wow, pray for Louisville. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. And like we said, 9 people are dead, 11 are injured, 2 of them are in critical care burn units, and 16 families are reporting that there are loved ones that have never been found or missing, and there's a lot of concern. So the death toll, according to the governor of Louisville, is expected to rise. I am going to throw this out there for you. Of course, you can get your tickets for our webinar we did, Darkness Descending. Darkness Descending. Powerful prophecies by Brandon Biggs. Very special 1 hour and 3 minute of several prophecies that the Lord showed him. Also, Mike Around the World with an incredible vision that, and he reveals his identity, not his name, but his identity, who he is, and it really helps you understand where he comes from. And then, of course, John, the AI guy, telling us about the coming digital ID and the advancements of AI and how AI wants to literally eliminate the human race. And that AI has jumped the fence. And he explains what that means. In other words, it's jumped the fence. It's now thinking for itself, and there's some AIs out there that are plotting against the human race. So you got Dr. Joy Pugh, she's incredible in this interview with her. Lieutenant Colonel Amit Grinfield from the IDF, from the Israeli Defense Forces, telling you exactly what's really happening on the ground in Gaza. Also, from the archives, Russ Dizdar interviews I did with him back in 2017 and 2018. Also, Rabbi Kurt Schneider, a powerful word on decoding the Torah. And Dr. Lester Sumrall. We went back in 2 of his visions from 1987 and 1989. And also Bart Begley on the history of Halloween. Also, I gave you a 45-minute presentation on occult practices and rituals on the rise in America. It's all part of the New World Order. It's all part of the Illuminati. And so if you haven't got a ticket to this webinar, everyone says, it's not me saying it, everyone is saying the best webinar you've ever done. And that's saying a lot because our webinars are fantastic. Everyone knows that. So get your ticket and you'll get your link and you'll be able to watch this entire webinar. It's powerful. I'll be back, guys, to tell you more. We have a webinar coming up. The final webinar of the year will be coming up in December. It's called Prophecy, Predictions, and Plagues 2026. You don't want to miss that. I'll be back. I'll tell you more about that. God bless.